Are you going?
Yes, I'm off. I just stopped by to say goodbye. I'll be in Paris for 2 weeks, and then...
And how long in Rome?
Just a week. I'll telegraph I'm going to be longer, no more than a month altogether.
She'll miss you. You've become such a part of us now. Darling, David's come to say goodbye. He's going away for quite a while.
But you can't leave us, you can't.
I have to, little one. I have work to do.
What about me and Mummy? Don't you care about us?
Of course I care about you, but...
I hope the ship sinks and I hope you drown.
Kate!
David, I didn't mean it. I didn't
I
promise.
know, Kate. I know.
I love you and I'll always love you.
My name is Banda. I was a friend of your father's.
My father died before I was born.
I know. He gave me something to keep for him, and I think he would want you to have it now. Your father found this diamond in a beep many years ago. It's flawed, as you can see. Yeah, keep it. When you look at it, think of your father, for he was a good man.
And so when one speaks of Chaucer, one simply must say that Chaucer is indeed the father of English poetry.
Dear Mommy, things are about the same as usual here. My roommate strangled a cat, and we made a fine soup of it. My English teacher, Mrs. Gibbs, has contacted syphilis, but not, I don't think, from any of my friends.
If you should happen to see that Blackwell fellow, tell him I've forgotten him completely.
You all right? Why don't I finish? Blackwell fellow, it's goodbye to my 3rd miserable year at Bellingham, and so I say hello to my 4th miserable year. I miss Cape Town terribly and cannot wait to return. All my love, Kate.
You know, of course, David, that she's in love with you.
Oh, I know. She thinks she is. I give her 3 or 4 more years and...
Come in. Yes, Mum? My dear. David! David!
Oh, David!
You look wonderful.
Well, David, what are you doing here?
Sit down, Katie. The thing is, it's about your mother. She's been rather ill.
Mommy?
Yes. In fact, I'm here to take you home.
Mommy, I'm home!
Morning. I have a question. I don't understand.
Sure.
Why in the devil did you just overrule the decision of 3 division managers? Don't you trust them?
Well, certainly we do. You see, each one of them is only concerned with his own division. I mean, whether it's cattle or shipping, diamonds, whatever, that's the center of his universe.
We have to take an overall view of the situation and then decide what's best for the company.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Look, Kate, this just happened this morning. I think you should know that we're going to send Brad here to New York on the Cartwright shipbuilding offer.
Oh, you're going to make them an offer?
Yes.
We think it's an important acquisition.
How would you like to go along with Brad? Assist him?
No. I'd like to make the proposal myself. Brad can assist me if he wants to.
Don't you think?
No, I don't think. Don't you? Look, Brad, this is not in any way personal, but you have to understand that at exactly 4 months, 3 weeks, and 5 days, this corporation is going to be under the full control of James McGregor's daughter. And she damn well better have some experience in knowing how to run it.
You gotta remember that Cartwright's a crafty old codger. He's gonna try to squeeze every cent he can out of this deal.
Oh, I shall just squeeze him right back.
Well, confidence helps, but it doesn't always win the game. That's what it is, you know. Business is just a game, played sometimes for fantastic stakes. Now, you're gonna be up against experts, so if you're determined to win, you've got to learn to be a master of the game.
I think we have a complete accord on just about everything now.
Well, I'm very glad you feel that way, Mr. Cartwright.
Just about?
Well, there is the matter of a proper transition, a matter you might say of continuity, to a successful conclusion.
No.
I beg your pardon?
You and your management team are in a great deal of financial trouble, Mr. Cartwright, because you haven't been doing the job. Now, we want no strings attached to the sale of your company. We want our own people. And if the price is acceptable, we'll close the deal.
Maybe I could point out a few facts that I...
You may have until tomorrow to consider your position, Mr. Cartwright. I can assure you we won't be changing ours.
Well, quite frankly, it's getting a little bit too much for me to come out here anymore. We keep a staff in the summer, you know,
Have you thought about selling it?
Well, Are you making me an offer?
I am.
You know, I must say, Miss McGregor, you...
Is it for sale?
You see, Miss McGregor, I feel that you don't quite understand my position. It means a great deal to me to remain president of this company for another year or two. I don't want people to think I had to, sell out. Do you understand?
I believe I do.
No, I mean, first you say that he has a deadline of 24 hours. And then you turn around and you give in to him right on down the line.
I gave in to nothing. What did I give in to?
You said he could stay on.
Right. For a retainer of $100 a year. For $100 a year, Brad, the man keeps his pride, right? And we get a house.
No, but that wasn't... No, I mean, I don't understand. You did this for a house?
Oh, no. No, it's much more than a house, Brad. This is going to be our summer home. This is a place where David and I will raise our children. Did he tell you about the house?
What house?
David, I want you to sit down. David, I want to have a very serious talk with you. Oh, David, really. David, it's time we face the facts. Oh, the most wonderful thing has happened. I saw this amazing house.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
What?
Kate, if anyone sits down, it better be you.
What?
Listen to me. I'm going to be married. Her name is Josephine O'Neill. I met her just after you left. Her father's an American diamond buyer, and... Well, you see her. She's very beautiful.
Yes, I'm sure she is.
No, I think it's the beginning of a fantastic new industry. It's going to completely revolutionize the processing of cattle production.
David, does this mean that you're leaving Kruger Brent?
Kruger Brent belongs to Kate now. Of course, she has Brad and you to help her, but Kate McGregor is Kruger Brent.
I'm sorry, I've had this headache all day long, and I have to be excused.
Sorry. No,
I'll take you.
Oh, thanks.
Not a great pleasure.
You should have told me.
What?
She's in love with you.
No, you don't understand.
She's in love with you.
Well, we've had a drastic change in plans. Something quite unexpected has happened, and Josephine and I will have to go back to San Francisco earlier than we had planned.
Oh, really?
The fact is, David, I'm going to sell the business. A Chicago company, 3-star meat packing, came through with a tremendous offer, and I'd be a fool to turn it down.
What about our plans?
Plans?
Yes, we were going into business together using your company as venture capital. I mean, what?
Yes. Well, that's still on, of course. The only difference being you'll be hired as one of the directors to manage the company.
It's not a lot different, darling.
Sorry, I'm not going to be hired out.
Oh, come on now, darling.
Did you know about this?
Well, of course.
And you didn't bother to tell me?
Well, it really wasn't your decision to make, was it?
Well, thank God. If there's one decision left, I can make it. You see, the truth of the matter is that my charms cannot possibly compete with those of the three-star meat packing company. I think I've just made a damn fool of myself. You agree?
To tell you the truth, as far as I'm concerned, you've been acting like a fool for a long time. Have you looked at me lately? Have you? I'm not a little girl any longer. I've grown up, David. I'm a woman. And I still love you. That has never changed.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the presence of God to join together in holy matrimony David Blackwell and Kate McGregor.
Listen, I'll call you back.
I'll call you.
Right, fine. Now, may I have a real kiss, please?
Who is that?
Mackenzie. He wants to take me on a tour of the mine tomorrow.
Oh, darling, you think you should go?
Absolutely.
He could sell it right
not.
out from under us by next
No,
week.
this is the weekend for Dark Harbor.
Darling, I know, but listen. I could go ahead. Then you could take the train to Virginia and be back by tomorrow night.
Well, it could be done. but
Darling,
it's a-
come sit down.
What?
Sit down. Look at me. I've just come from Dr. Newman's office. David, we're going to have a baby.
Okay.
We're going to be carrying around our next Shannon with the boy. And darling, the minute he's born, we're going to start on another.
It's a he already, is
Can we
it?
start on another immediately the minute he's born, David? Hmm? Oh, David, I love you so much. Now, will you get Mackenzie on the phone and tell him we'll go see his bloody mind in the morning?
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you say, ma'am.
Maybe we could wait just a little while.
A little later.
A little later. It is me. When it's finished, I want it to look as though we're part of the house from the very beginning.
I understand. That'll be no problem at all.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, when can we expect some plans?
I'll have some preliminary sketches for you by the end of the week.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, Miss Kate, Mr. Rogers is here.
Callie. Hi, Brad. I'll be with you in a minute. Can we start construction by October? Oh, we want to be certain it's finished by the time the baby's due. That's very important. Brad, I'll be with you in just a minute. I want to be certain that there are plenty of windows. I want them deep, very deep. You know, like the window seats.
Kate.
They're wonderful storage space. What is it, Brad? Oh, Brad, the house is going to look so beautiful. He's doing such lovely things.
David.
What about him? What?
There's been an automobile accident.
What do you...
David has been killed.
Watch out, the floors are slippery.
Don't worry, Mr. Marchak. I've never dropped a Rembrandt yet.
There's always a first time. Please, be careful.
Good morning, Mr. Rogers. Good morning. Good morning, Anton.
Well, what do you think of it, eh?
Nice picture.
Oh, Mr. Rogers, please.
Look, I know it's a masterpiece, Anton. I saw the bill.
Well, Mrs. Blackwell said she wanted a palace fit for a king.
But there's really no need to rush it. See, the king's still in the nursery. Maybe you could just wait a few days before bringing in the next Botticelli.
She didn't tell you. She bought a palazzo in Florence. We're bringing it over, piece by piece. Rose marble floors with the border of sienna red. The furniture's all 16th century, magnificent, walnut, excellent.
Where do you want this one?
That's the El Greco. Be careful with it. Put it right over there.
Considerable merits. Now, if the board of directors agree, we feel that an on-site inspection would be helpful. Would you please send the head of our engineering staff a consultation on what areas you wish surveyed? So if you would let us know when this might be convenient, we would be happy to make the necessary arrangements.
Mr. Rembrandt is on the wall.
I plan to be in London around the 1st of the month, and if you would like me to meet with your board, I'd be very happy to do so. Very truly yours. I think that's good, Ruth. We'll finish the rest later, thank you. Oh, I forgot to ask. How's your mother? Is she feeling better?
Much better, thank you. The doctor you sent her to really helped.
Oh, I'm so glad. Good.
You know, being an art lover myself, is there really any truth to the rumor that you're going to buy the Metropolitan Museum?
Why be greedy? What, is the hair out of place?
I hate to say this, but you're looking a little peaked.
Oh, I'm not peaked. It's just the sunlight. It distorts the view. I'm sorry, Sharon. I think that finishes this for today. Keep working on the hair. It's not right.
No. I think you could use a night on the town. You know, a change of pace, dinner, show, do all the wonderful things that people do.
Brad, I don't need a hobby.
4th row center, the Gershwin show.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'd really like to, but I can't. Thanks anyway, Brad.
Come on, Kate. Let's take a ferry ride. Watch the rest of the world float by.
Oh, that's very sweet. Brad, I'd like to, but look how much I have to do. I just can't. I don't have time.
What more do you have to do? Look, you've already built your empire. Now, wait a minute. Just a minute here. Now, you used to have other needs. I remember the way you used to look at David. I mean, my God, it made even me crazy. A thing like that just doesn't go away. It can't. Not for you.
You don't understand, do you, Brad? I'm happy. I'm happy right now. Do you know what makes me happy, Brad? The company. For the first time in my life, I can make sure of things. Because it's mine. It's all mine. The company's not going to die one day and leave me all alone. It's going to go on forever, Brad. I'll make sure of it. And one day, so will my son.
Come on, darling. Tony, jump. It's going to feel, you're going to be wonderful. You don't have to be afraid. Jump, Tony. Tony, Mother is here. I won't let anything happen to you. Now, come on, jump. Terrific.
Okay, ease off. Ease off. Now you're luffing, Tony. Nice.
We had examinations. I got all A's.
What did you say?
I got all A's.
You did. Was that nice?
I like this picture very much.
Helen, you all right?
I'm fine, thank you, Mother.
You must try not to stammer. I think it will help if you speak more slowly.
Tell me, what do you do when he stammers?
Well, what any mother would do. I correct him.
Well, I would advise that you not draw attention to it. It'll make him more tense.
John, if you're suggesting that Tony has a psychological hang-up, I can assure you it's not because of me. John, I adore the boy. There's not a day goes by that he doesn't know it.
I'm sure.
Now, Rodin said that sculpture was an idea translated into bronze and marble, and ideas are meaningless without emotions, and he took emotions from love to fear and joy. Rodin took human feelings and made them eternal. You have talent, Real talent, may I? And for someone your age, that line is pretty good.
I have some watercolors. They're in my room. Would you like to see them?
Of course. Perhaps one day we'll be able to hang one of your paintings here. If I'm still art curator, then I'll put in a good word for you.
Always remember, winning is everything.
Anton says I've got talent.
Oh, I think so, too.
Do you really?
Yes, darling. Some of the things you paint are very nice.
It must be the most wonderful thing in the world to be a painter. You can take what you see and make it last forever.
Darling, at least you can always hang your pictures at our house, can't you?
That's what Anton said.
Does he? I'm very sorry to say that I have no further need of your services. I'm very grateful for all that you've done. And without your help, of course, the Blackwell collection would be nowhere near its present size and importance, but my priorities have changed, and it would be unfair to both of us to keep you in a position for which I have no further need.
Is it something I've done?
No. Absolutely not. No, as I said, I could not have chosen a better curator. I trust that this will demonstrate my high regard for you. Anton, I'm sorry, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
I will miss the boy.
Here in Bermuda, the talk is all about the wedding planned for this summer by the Julian Pendergasts for their daughter, Alicia. The intended bridegroom, Bradford Rogers, is presently a house guest at the Pendergast estate in Somerset. Mr. Rogers is executive vice president to the now legendary Kate Blackwell, who presides over one of the world's great industrial empires. Friends say that in addition to the lovely Alicia, Pendergast plans to offer his future son-in-law an important position with International Chemicals.
Is that her picture? Brad's done all right for himself, hasn't he?
You know, Mrs. B is going to have a stroke if he leaves.
Good morning, gentlemen. Hope I didn't keep you waiting. Where's Brad? Annie, call Mr. Rogers' office, please.
He's out of town, Mrs. Blackwell.
Tom, didn't you tell me the Tucson job was finished?
Last week.
Brad's in Bermuda. He's going to get married.
Oh, how nice. Annie, would you call him and tell him that he and I will be leaving for Johannesburg first thing Thursday morning? The new Land Act has made things intolerable for our workers. Apologize. Tell him I'm sorry. James, tell me about your report on the negotiations with Holland Steel. We've tried to give our people decent working conditions, but what is the good if your government continues its oppression?
Dear Mrs. Blackwell, these restrictions on the black population serve only to maintain law and order. I assure you, it's one of the best interests of property owners such as yourself.
But you assure me of nothing, Prime Minister. If we can't get workers for our mine, what then?
If we were to accept all the blacks fighting to get into South Africa, the rest of the continent would be empty.
Native-born should determine citizenship, sir, not the color of one's skin. I am ashamed for my country.
Mrs. Blackwell, please. I do think you have been misinformed. We're dealing with primitive people here. They have to be protected as well as the whites.
Bloody nonsense. You have taken a country that could have been one of the great countries on this earth, and you've turned it into a living hell. I pity us all. Good day, sir.
I think your office is on fire.
Man's a bloody fool! My brother would be alive today, and probably my father as well, if it weren't for the stupidity of men like that. God!
Kate, what is it that I am doing in Johannesburg? I mean, you sure didn't need my moral support in there. All I did was take up space.
I am not going to discuss it right now, Brad. I have something very important to do. We will discuss it at dinner. Would you please go by the office and see if there are any cables to New York? Thank you.
When are we leaving? I'd like to send a cable to Alicia.
In a couple days, Brad. Say hello to Alicia for me.
is said with respect, dear child. The daughter of Jamie McGregor has become a true master. Forgive me. I am not a very good host. I will make you some tea.
Oh, no, Banta, they've offered a reward for you. They may have followed me here. I don't know. I can't be sure.
There are men all along the trail. They wait for strangers. I'm safe here for now. It was good of you to come.
Banta, where is this all going to end?
Whites have destroyed the bridges between us. And one day they will need those bridges to reach us.
Not all whites are your enemies.
But the minority in power are.
Yes, but we're working to change that, Banta. And one day we will with time.
Time is like the sand in an hourglass. And it's running out.
How about Natami and Magena? Are they in a safe place?
My wife and daughter are in hiding with friends. A village near Durban.
I can't let this happen. What can I do for you? How can I help? Will money help you?
That would be kind.
Then you shall have it. Just tell me how.
Oh, Kate. Thank you. Now, you must have some tea and tell me all about your son.
Oh, we don't have half enough hours for that. Let me help you.
Yes. Yes, Kate. This late? Well, you're the boss. Sure, I'll be right up.
Sorry I kept you waiting.
No, that's all right. In fact, I just finished reading this myself.
I'll take it. It can wait. Oh, Brad. 6,000 miles is such a long way to bring him in. I wanted to be sure we were alone.
Now, Kate. God. You know how long I wanted you. You are the most beautiful woman in the world. I just don't want this night to ever end. I didn't know. I just didn't know it would be like this. I love you. I love you, Kate.
Are you really serious about that woman?
Thank God you're still here. If this would have been a dream, I would have had to kill myself.
Brad, tell me. Are you really going to marry her?
Are you jealous?
Tell me. Are you?
She's ancient history. I'll never see her again, I promise. Because you're the only woman I've ever really wanted. And I'll be with you. Always.
Hello, darling. What, chill in here, huh?
Water's great.
Oh, darling, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I'm sorry we have to go back to New York.
I thought we had another week.
Well, I could let you stay, but since the collection needs cataloging, you might as well fly back with me.
Well, what's wrong with the collection?
Well, nothing really, darling, but since Anton decided to leave, no one's really checked the new acquisitions, and since it's all going to be yours one day, I figure you might as well know what's really there.
Mother, that's just the point.
What's the point, darling?
I don't think I'm going to take over everything. I want to do things on my own, like Grandfather did. I want to paint.
Do you know that Kruger Grant Limited is one of the great companies of the world? Do know we have factories in 36 countries. Do you have any idea of what kind of power that means?
I don't care about power. And I don't care about big business.
What do you mean you don't care about big business? Do you even know what big power and big business is, Tony?
I don't know.
Darling, I'm going to send you to South Africa. Of course, it's time. It's time you had an education, Tony. I want to make sure that you know who you are and where you come from, so that maybe, just maybe, if you understand our family, you'll understand why you are the one that has to keep Kruger Grant
Everywhere I go, there are guards watching over me. I asked some of them to leave, but they said that you had given orders. Yesterday, they flew me to the Namib Desert, where Grandfather stole those diamonds from great-grandfather Vandermeer. Well, I suppose he really didn't steal them. He was only taking back what had been stolen from him. It was a very hot night, and I couldn't sleep. I'd close my eyes for a few minutes, and then they'd open again. Suddenly, I knew someone was in the room. And then, I heard my name out of the dark. And he told me not to be frightened. Then, I saw him. There was a light coming through the window, and he stepped into it. This tall, wonderful-looking man, who someday I'll paint. He was like I already dreamed an African king would be. And he was. For he was Bandai.
Oh, Brad. Oh, Brad. Yes, I thought you were on your way to Chicago.
Why don't you come with me?
Oh, you know I can't do that.
But we do so well on the road together. You remember?
Brad, I've had a very long day, and I would like to get some sleep.
And I would like to go with you.
Good night, Brad.
Damn you, you driving me. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm so... No, I'm sorry. This really isn't my style, is it? Oh, God, I just don't get it. We didn't have a night together. Do you remember? Because I do. God, it was so beautiful. I mean, it was like the whole damn world was on fire. So now, what? I mean, it's just like it never happened.
I do care for you, Brad.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Oh, good. I mean, the night that it happened, I really believed that you did. But I think maybe that was just because I wanted to believe it. It's just because I wanted you for so long. But I should have known. Because you did to me just what you did to David.
I think you better go.
No, you broke up his marriage like you broke up mine.
That is not true! I married David because I loved him, and I stayed with you because I wanted to be with you!
Then why can't we be together now? That's the part I don't understand.
If we couldn't stay with the company, could you? Could you? No! We both know it would be impossible! What's more important? Our love affair or the company? The company is bigger than we are! And it's more important than we are, and it's just a sacrifice that we have to make. So, we don't have any choice.
I can still look at you. Can't I?
So glad to see you. And you. I heard about your gallery. You've got some good people. Can I have a beer, please?
Never mind about me. So how's life here at Harvard?
I'm leaving soon. Mother wants me to go to the Wharton School.
Well, good. You may be able to help me with my investments. That shouldn't be difficult. There aren't many.
I really appreciate your coming, Anton.
I had to be near the museum anyway. Besides, you said it was important.
I have to ask you something.
Ask.
You know, Mother expects me to go into the company.
Yes, I have that impression.
But you know what I want to do, don't you? I want to go to Paris and study painting. We're going to have a terrible fight when I tell her. I tried to tell her a couple of years ago when I came back from South Africa, but I couldn't. I showed her some of my watercolors, though. Anton, you've got to go to this place. It's a painter's dream. The landscape changes every minute. I wanted to ask you this a long time ago, but I never had the chance.
Tony, I had to leave so suddenly. I was always sorry we didn't say goodbye. But now we're here, and you want to know whether you should do as your mother wishes. I can't tell you that. But if you want to know if I think you can become an artist, the answer is yes. You can become a fine artist.
Oh, thank you, Anton. Thank you.
But in any event, Paris may have to wait a while. The whole world will be at war soon. And until we have beaten the Nazis, nothing else can really matter. Nothing else.
Sorry to inconvenience you, Mr. Blackwell, but I thought it better to continue our discussion here.
Oh, I understand.
Did you have a chance to go through the shop?
Oh, yes, I did have a chance to go through the shop. It doesn't seem to be as large as the one in Munich.
We've just opened this
Oh,
one
it's
recently.
lovely.
I only go to Germany now when necessary.
I've been told about your work here, Bueller. You're a very brave man.
For running a department store?
For smuggling the Jews out of Germany.
Politics are a sensitive matter these days. I know nothing about an underground movement such as you describe.
Well, then I'm wasting your time.
But I do have a close relative who could use some assistance. Perhaps that would interest you.
I'd like to help in any way I can.
There's an uncle in England. He suffers from a chronic, debilitating disease, and his medical expenses are quite high.
I can imagine.
He requires at least $50,000 a month.
That can be arranged.
The money must be deposited in London for transfer to a Swiss bank.
My London office will see to it. Is there anything else?
You will forgive my impertinence, Mrs. Blackwell, but all this does surprise me. You've been very generous to many charities, but your reputation in business is, may I say, less than charitable.
You require the money, Herr Bueller. That's all that need concern you.
The source of the money is important to us as well.
Herr Bueller, you are a person of high principle. I trust you will accept that I am as well. The money is yours if you wish it.
To freedom.
To freedom.
Trunks? Was there anything for me?
Thank you.
Uncle Sam.
Oh, what is it? What's it say?
You will be happy to know that your son has passed his physical and has now been classified 1A.
Well, I'll call General Cates in Washington.
Good. Maybe he can make me a colonel.
Tony, this isn't funny. Now I can have this stopped.
You can't pull any strings with this one. Maybe I should have told you before, but I don't know. I just kept putting it off.
No. I can't bear the idea of you being in the Army, of you being in the war. If anything happened to you...
I'm going in, Mother. I've been accepted to the Marine Corps pilot training program, and I'm leaving next week.
No. No, I cannot allow it, Tony.
Took a war to do it. But for the first time in my life, I am doing something on my own. I forgot to mail this letter. Would you take care of it for me?
Sure, sir.
We'll be moving on to another island soon. We've got them on the run, and now some of us are beginning to talk about the time when we come home. And that's what I want to talk about with you. I'll be coming back, but then I'm going away. I have to find out if I can really be an artist. If not, I'll wonder about it the rest of my life. So I'll be going to Paris. I'll give it 2 years, and if it doesn't happen, maybe you can find me a job in the company. Sorry, Mother, but I have to try. I've just got to.
When Anton Marshak wrote he was sending me an American, I told him I have no need for a barbarian. Why are you here?
To learn, Maître.
Barbarians draw the outside of an arm. Artists draw the inside. Muscles, bones, ligaments. I want to feel the blood flowing beneath the skin. Do you know how to do that?
Yes. You think it, feel it, see it, and then you draw it.
Hmm.
You know, I live for the day that Maître Cantal smiles. Her model told me he once smiled when making love.
This is where I turn off. I'll see you both in the morning.
Hey, one night you do not have to think about art. Come with us.
Oh, I made some sketches. I have to work on them.
Au revoir. Salut. The poor man is obsessed. Go and mix your silly little paints. Hey, viens avec moi.
Mother? I didn't know you were coming.
Oh, darling, forgive me. I'm sorry that I didn't call you to tell you that it all happens.
Mother?
You didn't stammer.
No?
Oh, Tony, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I knew that it was going to end one day. You're very happy here, aren't you?
Yes.
These are quite nice. I like these.
No.
Oh, no, yes, they're nice.
But they will be. So, what do you think?
Oh, I like it. I think it's charming. But I don't see where you keep your refrigerator. Or where do you keep your food? Oh, that's sweet.
Voila.
Oh, thank you. I'm not eating one of your subjects, am I?
No.
Darling, come and sit with me. I want to hear all about your Maître Cantal.
Oh, well, I like him very much. But the problem is, I don't know if he likes me. You see, only about a third of the people are going to make it into next year. Wait a minute. Our bargain still holds, doesn't it? 2 years here. Mother, the company will always be there.
Darling, it was your decision. It still is.
If you wish to applaud, buy a ticket to the Folies Bergère. Since most of you will never sell enough paintings to afford a model of your own, we will permit you to share Mademoiselle Dominique. Mademoiselle. It is not a disaster. Are you trying to insult Mademoiselle? Or is it a painting of the Eiffel Tower?
Dominique, you look exhausted. May I breathe life back into you with a fine dinner?
I'm forbidden to mix business with pleasure. I'm sorry.
Well, then I will resign from the academy and take you dancing.
I cannot go out with former students either. Besides, it would not be fair. You have all seen what I have to give. But how do I know what you have to offer?
Why is everything so beautiful, so untamable?
The critics hated Cézanne when he first started. They wanted to burn his paintings.
He needed a place to hang his work. That's the only reason he was at that first exhibition. He was hardly an impressionist at all. Degas, Monet, Renoir, they were the true rebels.
They take the credit. Courbet and realism were first.
And Daumier, look at the fools he made of the bourgeoisie.
Cézanne changed with every painting. When Gauguin was a collector, he said that Cézanne was the best.
Now that is art.
Would it help if I told her I was famous?
Good evening, Mademoiselle Dominique. Would you and your friends care to join us?
Perhaps later.
Well done, my friends. That smile will warm you for 30 days.
She was just being polite, that's all.
Well, never mind, Dominique. You were explaining Cézanne.
Oh, my nose is too long.
Sorry, I'll change it.
No, no, the one on the canvas is fine. It is my nose that is too long.
I like your nose.
If that is all you like of me, I can understand why you have never asked me out for an evening.
Well, I suppose it's because, well, everybody else asks you out and you never go out with any of them.
Would a man who's going to be an important painter care to buy me dinner? I do not eat much. I must keep my figure.
Mon plaisir, mademoiselle.